Mic check 1 2. We are breaking news right now. Yeah, we're live with live police chases on YouTube. I was kind of prepping to do a live, and then I got the notification, and looks like they're cutting the feed here. What's going on? There we go. Yeah, let me get myself together here. Hopefully, you're being notified. And I guess we'll get our stream started now. And welcome everyone. Let's see, it is about to be 5:20 here on the West Coast. And we are in Highland Park. That's right over the hill from me. And so a heads up, I should probably notify family right now. Let me get comfortable here. Let's activate our camera. All right, camera's activated. Got some folks up in the chat. What's up, Genocide? Blazer MT, what's going on, brother? Brother Garrel in the house. Yeah, we got a live chase popping off right over the hill from us in Highland Park over here. Let me get some audio going, and then I'm gonna try and gather myself here.
The passenger, of course, being let off at Avenue 50 and near Figueroa, but the driver here continuing on, going around traffic, running stop signs like that. And we'll see if those LAPD units get in position here shortly.
And our sense is this was initiated due to reckless driving. At this point, that's the information we have. This driver has slowed considerably in the last 5 minutes or so. But when we first got over this, it was a much different story, as there was a passenger involved at the beginning of this. As we mentioned, the woman, female passenger, jumped out with a backpack or a bag of sorts, and the driver obviously continuing on. But reckless driving.
Ooh, she hopped out with the bag.
Obviously, the sum total of charges will increase considerably if and when law enforcement gets back behind this suspect and bring.
No worries, PNW Rush. Just rewind when you come back. We're going to read off some new Bigfoot reports online since yesterday. Yeah, right after our live stream, I think they added several new reports, so we'll get into those. But we're just checking out this live speed chase, and hopefully, yeah, don't get into a speed chase yourself there, PNW Rush. We need you all in one piece for a Coley show. Yeah, PNW Rush is going to be on with Coley SNX Radio. I seen that little drop that PNW Rush did. So set your notifications for that, folks. There's a ghetto bird.
Talking about being comfortable with only surveilling it for now and moving in on the vehicle once it stops or the person gets out to try to run. So I imagine, I can't see it, but I can.
Mikey, Gustavo, welcome on in. Who else is in here?
And see if that drives.
Anybody lurking? What's up, lurkers?
For now, the vehicle here just kind of rolling through stop signs, being a little cautious. And I'm here now. Let me see here. I'm going to come out wide. Okay, they're talking about trying to get a ground unit behind it right now, and possibly involve the CHP as well. We'll see if they get involved on this pursuit, even though it's on surface streets.
Right. That would be interesting if the CHP gets involved as well here in this neighborhood. And, you know, as we've been watching this driver go around this neighborhood, you wonder if maybe perhaps that they are familiar with this neighborhood as they pull into this gas station. Are they going to stay? Okay, they're going to try and get to the other side. And, you know, what particularly struck me, it was when the woman passenger got out of the car on Avenue 50 in Figueroa and just casually walked up the stairs as if that was where she lived. And, you know, this hasn't left the area, you know, since we've been on top of it. And, you know, so you wonder if maybe perhaps this driver, female or male, is familiar with this area and just kind of trying to figure out what their next move is going to be.
That's absolutely right. Staying close to where that passenger was let off, not too far. We're Avenue 57 here in Buchanan.
Had to wrap my locks up. If you could see how it goes down behind the scenes before we get started with these speed chases, or especially the speed chases, but the streams, they'd probably be some viral videos. It's hilarious. When I got the notification, I still have the hoodie on. No, I had my nightcap on. It's a huge one. So I threw that off. Dreadlocks were all over the place. I threw a hoodie and my beanie back on. Scrambling. I won't mention what else I was doing, but all right, getting a little more comfortable here. Let's see. I was gonna head to the post office, but we got a chase going on now, so let's see. Come on, camera. There we go. I got a couple of boxes here. Come on, show the other one. Yep. Couple of boxes getting ready to go to the mail. There we go. Yep. I got a little secret also. I just had a couple waffles. Yep. It was my cheat day today. I was able to have whatever I wanted. So I went with the waffle. Yeah, no worries. I did soak them in some nice grade A maple syrup. And let's see. I think I might know. Where are we here? Looking kind of familiar here. Are we on? Uh-oh, Figueroa. Watch out. The ladies of. They're not only known as the ladies of the night. They're there during the day. There too, folks. Watch out, Figueroa. Here we are.
Just mentioned, talk about involving the CHP as well. We can see the clear, the hands on the wheel. We are not getting a clear look at the face. We're a little bit behind right now.
Whoops.
And there you go.
I just delayed it a second there.
Yeah,
it just looks like longer hair.
It does, yeah, it does.
Longer hair.
I just delayed it a second there. I won't touch it anymore. I was gonna mute it and say what's up to SoCal. What up, SoCal? How you doing? Good to have you in here, man. Hopefully you caught yesterday's show. We kind of went in on some of the missing and unalived scientists. Sharon, we just had some waffles right now in your name. And look, we got pedestrians going by there. Beep, beep. It is dangerous out there right now, folks. So if you're in the LA area, heads up. I just notified most of my family members. And you probably should too if they're out here.
We were talking there, so we'll see what's up with that. But in the meantime, we're back on Figueroa here, southbound. And let me try to get another look at the driver. A lot of trees here that kind of coming in and out of our shot. But maybe you can tell better here with this shot.
Yeah, we do have confirmation from LAPD Media Relations that the want initially was reckless driving. And the circumstances surrounding that are unclear at this point. But that was the initial trigger.
Reckless driving, that's like most of the city here. What's up, Amanda? Welcome on in.
Sort of drifting away from the neighborhood a little bit from where the passenger was dropped off on Avenue 50 about 10 minutes ago. And again, tracking from the air at this point, you have law enforcement.
So they got dropped off in the avenues back here in Highland Park.
Using the resources to track this driver, it's obvious that they have an interest in getting this person into custody. Again, all we know at this point is reckless driving. Could be more than that, as far as we know from LAPD Media Relations.
Yeah, there's a lot of desperate and hopeless romantics out here, Richard. It's tough, bro. How you doing up there in Alaska?
It will have a felony evading charge to deal with as well. But again, the passenger dropped off and the driver continuing on here on surface streets.
Yeah, you wonder if there's maybe more passengers inside the car
coming out,
going along for this ride, and they're obeying traffic.
Glad you're coming along for this ride here, Kitty Catty Whack. Welcome on in. Yes, we're on a hot one, cruising through LA. Not, they're not going too fast, thank goodness. But reckless driving, that's always a red flag. And so a heads up, folks, if you're out in the area. Yeah, not only with this person, you got to watch out with everybody else. And they're getting onto the 2 freeway. That looks like the 2 freeway there. Are they showing old clips? The oldest freeway in LA. You got to wait. They're tight entrances. There's the LA River to the side there. This looks very familiar. Yep, he's back in Highland Park if that's what they're showing. Let's see. Let's make sure we're on track here. Yeah. Okay. Audio, sir.
For the CHP to see if they get back involved in this to any extent, but the driver seems to be.
So if I'm correct, okay, it says the 110, but I think it could be the 2 freeway actually. And this will take you to South Pasadena and into Pasadena. Yes, where JPL and NASA are and all that. Yeah, I ride this freeway all the time. But it could be he is on the 110 here. So let me just make sure these areas do look alike. Just a heads up.
Way speed now.
Well, I mean, dangerously slower than freeway speed. It feels like it looks like the car even behind it is trying to hesitate a little bit because that car that we are tracking is going below the speed limit here on the 110 northbound. What do we have coming up ahead of us here, and what does this driver face?
Well, the driver's coming into South Pasadena, the end of the 110 freeway. So we'll see what direction the driver decides to go if they do go to.
Yep, sounds about right. And this freeway, they say, is the oldest freeway, but I guess he's saying the 110. I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. I'm a little confused. Sometimes these freeways crisscross and but yeah, it looks like we're headed to Pasadena. Heads up.
Pull the vehicle over. That's an unknown right now.
And then the question of whether South Pass gets involved once this gets into their jurisdiction.
South Pass gets involved, it's going to be serious business. Something about like different cities and their police forces. Sometimes Pasadena, South Pasadena, you can't go mess around over there. LA, you can get, but you go into South Pasadena, they're on it out there. So heads up. Come on, camera activate. Thank you, sir.
There that were over the chase, and I believe one of them was a sheriff's department helicopter, but it looked like LAPD took it from there and then has been on it ever since.
All right, making an exit here on the 110 freeway, exit at, is it Merriman Way? Under some of
Marmion Way. Look at this.
There's
a little bit of traffic there, and we'll see which way they go. The driver goes here. Let's see if we can get a look at the driver.
Yes, Tina C, we're on live. Come hang out with us. Tina C sending me a text message right now. I see Smoke and Scan is on. Ickmail is on also. So several other YouTubers broadcasting this police chase right now. And let's send Tina C a message to come hang out with us.
And at this point, having dropped off a passenger, continues to drive, and law enforcement continues to monitor it. We'll continue to monitor this and come back to it as warranted.
All right. Gil, thank you.
And we've got Olga Ospina in for Vera tonight, who wants to talk about the weather. And you get your chance now, Olga. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday.
Summit to Sky 5, are we streaming?
All right, what's going on here? What happened? Are they showing
Wrong side of the road. Oh, right in front of the officer. Look at that. And South Pasadena.
Right. I think we got
the driver just went wrong side of the road in front of a South Pasadena PD unit, so it looks like they're going to pick it up.
There's Tina.
Can we get closer, Mike? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
All right, we're getting messages and sending out notifications, and everyone's like, all right, yeah, we got some Monday action going on here. Yes, this is a Monday in Los Angeles, Lost Angels. The city of Los Angeles, California. This is a Monday for you folks. Let's see. Do we get another one after this? Do we get a third one? And again, these freeways here, if it's the right one, and it looks like it. I mean, look at those lamps. They look like from the old world. Super tight lanes, and man, sometimes you'll get these Porsches or these speed racers on there, and that left lane is gnarly because there's these curves, and if you take it too fast, you'll be in some deep trouble.
Vehicle went on the wrong side of the road, right in front of a police car from the South Pasadena PD, and now they're chasing the vehicle right now, failing to yield to those officers. So the pursuit is back on, at least from the South Pasadena.
Hey, Barbie, I was trying to send you a camera. I guess so do I, but
there was at least two people on board when we got over the pursuit at Avenue 50 and Figueroa. The car pulled over, dropped off a passenger from the front seat, and continued.
I just got a citizen's notification, and it gives me notifications near the shop. And a woman assaulted another woman right now, 100 feet from the shop. So we're gonna find out what the heck happened there later.
Dropped off. The driver, we are hearing.
Oh yeah, man. Sometimes Thursdays as well. I think last week it was what was the day last week that we got the back-to-back? That was the Thursday, I think. So,
we'll see if the California Highway Patrol will get some interest.
There's actually 3 speed chases last night, gnarly ones too. I got the Citizens app notification, but no live broadcast since it was Sunday, I guess. But we have gotten some chases on Sunday, so I don't know what the heck. Maybe they had the day off and just said it.
Yep.
Oh, I bet, dude. Yeah, I don't mess around with South Pass.
Well, I think that officer that tried to pull the vehicle over here from South Pasadena.
And just I'm like really close to South Pasadena. I just got to drive up the road a bit. And it's funny. There's like an invisible line there. It's probably not invisible. They do have a sign. But yeah, it's like you cross that side of the city into South Pasadena. It's a whole other world. It's beautiful. I love Pasadena. I love South Pasadena. I used to live really close to there too in Alhambra. And yeah, it's funny. You cross this side of the line, and you better watch out. Go to Pasadena, you can relax a little bit. Although stuff does happen, but yeah, it's weird like that. Alhambra also, you can kind of chill out a little bit, ease up. But if you back in LA, you better know where those city lines are too. Better be back on guard, boy. Oh yeah, Blazer. I bet that's cool, man. Yep. We had one out here. We get the lost pets a lot of lost dogs, and for some reason the pugs. For some reason, it's always like, "Oh, is this your dog?" And it's always a pug. I wonder if it's the same pug. Oh, check out that graffiti there. Nice. That's where the train goes over. So we're gonna be reaching the 5 freeway coming up here. We're gonna have some options, and they're sticking to the right. So we're gonna get on the 5. It looks like, and I don't know. They look like they got spiked. Did I miss something here?
No.
Here we go. 5
Transition.
freeway.
Yeah.
don't know why the letters are right over my face. I wonder if it shows like that on the camera, or is it just because I'm in the circle down there? Anyway. All right, we're pulling over.
Bridge.
Out of gas? That never happened.
Getting out. Might be.
Run. You better run for it.
That's a male.
Up the hill.
Right? Go around, Mike.
Here we go.
Shoot.
I know that wall very well. Look at that. Some nice graph there. Stash the. Oh yeah.
We got to get around that, Mike.
Over here, Holmes.
It's left of it. We're right over the bridge.
Oh, bad. Uh-oh. What is happening here? Buffering, recalibrating, and we're back.
Shoot.
Cuo Gustavo. What is happening, compadre? What up, Rich Shots? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to read who that is there. We always out here in LA. We always read if it's legible, try and read the graph. Rich Shot, are you on Instagram? You got to check the homie Butcher over there.
Do a quick orbit around it, Mike.
Let's see, is he went under the bridge. He probably knows this spot well.
Wait, I got him. He's running across the bridge. He changed his jacket.
Paid the toll to troll, and here we go. You got to pick up the pace, Holmes. Oh, look at that one right there. Nice burner on that spot. LTS KOG. Those are the homies right there. Shout out LTS KOG crew. Homie Sloth. Oh, look at that compound there. Tarp fort.
He's going to go behind a building. I'm going to lose him. We got to fly this guy. You got to get right over him. Okay. I got him again. Right here is fine.
Very possible, Kitty Caddywhack, but like we're in the
my side, 9 o'clock low.
And I would say this is probably this guy's
turn.
neighborhood. He's familiar with the area. Uh-oh, hands up. Let's see. Uh-oh, somebody ahead of him trying to get out of the way there. Oh, somebody shirtless. He got the homies pulled up.
Here comes a unit because he just took off running right under us, Mike. Okay, make a
homeless
make
dude.
the turn there. There you go.
Damn, ghetto birds on you, Holmes.
Okay. They're gonna come back to us. We got to stabilize. Okay. You got eyes on him?
It's a wrap. Uh-oh. He's digging down.
Don't do that.
What's he got down there?
What's he doing?
Heidi Pop, what's going on? I was going to say you're missing out on the Heidi Pop moved away from this stuff, folks. Good for you, Heidi Pop. At least we could bring it to you. You're nice and safe in the WI now. Hope you're enjoying it out there. And yeah, no. Good for you. Good move. You know you're always welcome back. And yeah, be sure to monitor us because you know we're on the front line.
Well, sure, Mike. Yeah, went over the bridge. You got to cross the bridge on the 110 freeway. Has been running here now, walking. The LAPD is talking about trying to get units on scene. Their airship is still overhead, and they're talking about trying to get the units here. Avenue 32 and Humboldt. The driver here.
Oh, you're on He's on Humboldt. Yeah, there's a Humboldt Street. There's a bunch of streets around here. East LA. Around this area of this is also East LA too, but like it gets technical, little cities, there's different names. But there's a Humboldt, there's we've shown Siskiyou Street, there's a Medford, there's Klamath, all these Northern California and Oregon names is also is pretty cool. I like it. In the meantime,
I do hear the airship talking. He's putting his hands over his head, but I think because he's out of breath right now, and he's going to continue to walk this way. I hear them directing in the officers right now, so we should be seeing a unit approaching shortly here.
He's giving up. He's like, well, he could be getting air too. Maybe he's not giving up. He hasn't stopped walking. If he was, oh, there's a unit. Heads up. Manos arriba. Manos arriba. We got to be sure to, not go too far with it, because this could be somebody we know. You never know. And we don't know the situation, so can't really speak on it. But yeah, speed chase ending here on the east side of things. Homeboy's gonna need some water for sure. I don't know if that's a lanyard or something. It looks like it could be a gold chain or a chain. Let's just say, I'm not gonna say it's gold. Could be silver, could be platinum, could be some other precious metal. Yeah, thank you, camera. Follow me. And it's looking like a pretty smooth ending here. All right, don't pounce on him.
I got exhaust.
He's not doing anything.
Go forward.
Oh, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, still dropped the nub on him. Why? Probably Pasadena PD dropping that.
Still got it, Mike.
Sandra Piper, welcome on in. All my Bigfooters, hang on. We got some Bigfoot activity after this. Online Bigfoot reports coming up after our live situation here. Let's switch our...
Well, you're seeing the man being taken into custody. We weren't sure if it was a male or female that was driving. A female did get out of the vehicle during the pursuit. Now the man is in custody.
Damn.
Car came to a stop on the 110 freeway on the side of the road, jumped out, ran for a while, ended up here at Avenue 33 and Pasadena Avenue, where the LAPD airship brought in the ground units to direct them into where this man is. Again, the want was reckless driving initially, and may have led to some law enforcement officers getting into a crash during the pursuit.
Uh-oh.
But now this man is in custody, and that's going to wrap up our coverage here on this pursuit.
That'll piss him off.
Thank you once again for joining us on the web. This is Gil Davis up in Sky 5, signing off.
Right on. And thank you, Live Police Chases, as well. I got a bonus one, folks. I got a bonus one. Don't you go anywhere. Hold the horses. Hold the horses. We're still in April, so this still counts. And I guess this footage was not released till recently. This was let's see, does it have the day here? This was just 2 days ago, and I had it saved ready to go 2 days ago, but I forgot. And we're gonna rock this because this was a wild one, and from the Bay Area. Usually it's SoCal that gets all the wild chases, but it does happen up north, the Bay Area. We've talked about certain cases way up north, even recent ones up in Humboldt County. And but check this one out. This one's for the books, and I guess it happened on April Fool's. So we're gonna run this.
TVU Fox 2. Now at 10, a suspect makes a death-defying attempt to evade officers.
Yes.
The dramatic moment of police pursuit takes a harrowing turn under and across the Bay
Fox 2, here we go. You see that? Wow.
Bridge.
He's on the cross beam. It's under the bridge. You guys got your drone available by any chance? The drone's looking. They're underneath us right here.
The suspected car thief was eventually and safely taken into custody. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Meeback.
And I'm Claudine Wong. It all happened earlier this month, and tonight we are getting our first look at the dramatic lengths that suspect went to try and evade capture.
It looks like he's climbing his way under the bridge eastbound towards our last tower.
San Francisco police sharing this edited video as the latest example of the department's embrace of drone technology to combat crime.
New at 10, KTVU's Tom.
How do we get the full footage? Anyone got the full footage out there? Let us know. Edited video.
Vakar live tonight in San Francisco with more on how it all went down. Tom?
And on April Fool's Day, no less, this guy was doing something very foolish that was captured on police video just before he was captured physically. On the evening of April 1st, San Francisco police were alerted to a stolen vehicle on Market and 8th Streets and tried to initiate a traffic stop.
The driver failed to yield. Vehicle pursuit then ensued throughout city streets that eventually made its way onto the Bay Bridge.
The driver abruptly stopped in a traffic lane.
This driver then exited his vehicle and climbed onto the structure of the Bay Bridge.
At that point, he disappeared from sight. So officers quickly deployed remote control detectives.
The drones were able to spot the suspect driver, who was then climbing underneath the structure of the Bay Bridge.
In the suspect's precarious position and state of mind, police called in negotiators. The California Highway Patrol was called in to manage the building bridge tie-up.
We pulled in additional resources to bring this resolution to a peaceful and safe ending, and eventually got him to come from underneath the structure and give himself up. The voters of San Francisco have allowed us.
That was amazing to get him. After all that, they convinced him. How'd they do that? What'd they offer him? Some waffles? How do you do that one, man? That hostage negotiator needs a pay raise.
His name is still being withheld pending the ongoing investigation. When we find out, we'll let you know. Tom Bakar, KTVU, Fox 2 News. Mike, back to you.
Those drones.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, Tom. Thank you.
Amazing, folks. Amazing. All right, we're going to switch gears here unless we get another speed chase. That was a long way down to the water, says Red Shot. Yeah, bro. Oh, my goodness. And it probably wasn't, it's probably cold and windy up there. Bro was ready. Bro was ready for whatever. And something convinced him that, you know what? Maybe I should change my mind. Maybe I should, wonder what it was. That was wild. So I had to save that one for you all. And yes, we just had a wild live police chase. No, it wasn't that wild. It wasn't that wild. I guess it was exciting. Sorry. Exciting because it was nearby here locally. And if I would have gone to the post office, but who knows? I maybe could have ran into that person. You never know. But anyway, yes, let's switch gears. Let's get into some squatchy business. Yeah, that speed chase kind of just pushed me into the live stream here. I was kind of prepping things, getting things ready. But here we are. So let's kick it off. Let's see. Again, I'm a say my disclaimer. We're going to pull up a couple websites, the usual websites we've been checking out for online Bigfoot reports, and one of them being the BFRO. And we're very aware who runs the site. I've met the dude once, and I have friends that are friends with him. And I don't know. There's just been a lot of controversy with the documentary coming out, and I'm sure a lot of you are aware. And so I've been just, watching things, and let's see, Gerald kind of getting a text here. What's going on? Oh, all right, cool. Police chase. And so, yeah, and even as of late, since yesterday, there was some recent things being posted and said, and it's gone to another level, and it's not good. And so I'm very aware, and we'll probably leave it at that. I'm not going to get into what's being said and all that. That's all up to, if you're interested, you to figure it out. In the beginning, we shared some channels that were sharing information, whether it be on the PG film or whether they had seen documentary that had just come out. And we're continuing to do that, you know, because we have not seen the documentary ourselves. So we're like in the middle of things, you know. We're open to it being a hoax. We're open to it being real. And yes, I'm still going to Bluff Creek. And yes, I do believe Bigfoot is real. Bigfoots are real. And so yeah, you know, we keep it. We're still keeping it squatchy out here. So you know, we don't have our fur ruffled, our hair ruffled. No, it's just Bigfoot Mania 2026. It's an exciting year for all this, and even the UFO field. I mean, man, with everything, the scientists and the this and that, and just interesting times. And we got to keep our eyes peeled for sure. I am as much as possible, and just you know, trying to stir towards the right direction of things. And yeah, I love checking people out, people's work, and I just you know follow where the information takes me. And sometimes you go in loops, sometimes it's a roller coaster ride, you know, you go ups and downs and ins and outs, and you better off just put your hands up and screaming the whole way. Oh man. So yeah, so I'm pretty shocked with some of the latest stuff going on in the Bigfoot arena. So anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get into these new reports. Hopefully, they're still there. And let's do this. We're gonna refresh, which is dangerous because if we refresh, sometimes they disappear. Oh, look, we got a new one added. Actually, two new ones. All right, we're right on time, folks. Thank you, Lord, for lining me up. Yeah, we got some more reports to share here. Actually, earlier it was just one report out of Oregon. Let's do that. And I see now we got a report, looks like right on the border of Wisconsin again and Minnesota. And notice that the report is lighting up orange. Also, the Oregon report, orange. There's a slight green hue to it. We were discussing that yesterday. We've discussed it on other streams. We're not exactly sure. And actually, this California report that we did also was lit orange. And last night, when I checked the map, or it might have been early this morning, it was actually lit green for a while. And I was like, oh, look, it's lit green. And so I was like, okay, interesting. Maybe we'll point that out later. And now it's switched to blue. So just a little heads up there. And I don't think it's been that many days. You know, we pulled up where is it? There's a legend. So the legend tells you what the colors are. So there's still a little bit of confusion for me. And I noticed the creator of the website has been on, I guess he did an interview with, oh man, what's her name? And I believe it's the lady from the show I've never watched, Expedition, you know what? Yeah, that show. There's one interesting person that I found on there. I've seen an interview with him, and I thought he was a pretty interesting dude. But I've mentioned why I don't watch that show. But anyway, I've checked out the lady's channel, and it's I'm not going to try to pronounce her name. She has an interesting name, something Mayor, right? And she has been clipping some short videos on her channel, and with the guy from the mapping project, which now I even forgot his first name. I'm going to get it down. And they were discussing some hotspots. And according to the Bigfoot mapping project, the creator was saying that Chestnut Ridge, Pennsylvania, seems to be like the hottest spot. And that's, I'm sure it's according to his map and the data that he has. And I don't know if he keeps, like, if there's a backlog of reports like the BFRO we explained. What are they called again? don't know why I was called. I think I might have called them flaps last time, but they're not flaps. There was a name for those reports, and we pointed that out because we learned about it. And so I wonder if the Bigfoot mapping project does something like that, and it makes me question also, uh, why are those reports being held? Why aren't they all released to the public? And some of you had shared your thoughts on it. Could be, who knows? Some of you were saying some pretty interesting uh, stuff. So let us know why you think maybe the BFRO keeps a backlog of reports that the public cannot see. And yeah, let me know if you know more about if the Bigfoot mapping project does something similar. So let's get into this Oregon report. And I believe it's out of Lynn County because I did look up the report area. And let's drop the Squatch a little bit here. And it's a fresh one. It says, I think it's from today, possibly. So drop in the Squatch here. We're up near Upper Soda and Cascadia, and there's a Highway 20 right here. And I wonder if that's the infamous Highway 20. There was a documentary released, I want to say a few years ago, and I was in Oregon at the time when I watched it too, Southern Oregon. And it's a heavy one about serial killers. And it's about the Highway 20. Did anyone check that documentary? I think I had shared it out at the time. And it was just a heavy one. I know some of you do get into that type of content. And there are a couple other, like some historical reports here. As you can see, the yellow ones, there's one red one not too far away. And let's see what it says here. 426, 26, 926. Got your 26s in there. Could be a bunch of 8s too, if you look at it. I like the 8s. No height, no sex, no vocalization. It says, I was driving on a rural forest road, NF 2014, near the old Santiam Trail, when I heard a sudden loud thud on the passenger side of the truck. The passenger side of the road drops off into a downhill drainage with thick brush, and the driver's side is a steep uphill bank. I was centered in the lane and going about 20 miles per hour when it happened. I stopped immediately and activated my lights and checked the area. When I got out, I found a roughly 5-pound rock sitting in the road near the passenger side. I also noticed a dent of, about 3.5 feet up in the passenger door. Ouch. Close to the window line, with dirt transfer and multiple scratches that wouldn't wipe off. I checked the downhill side and had a semi-clear view through the brush enough that I would have seen deer. And I lost my place there. Let's see. Where's the deer part? I would have seen deer or elk if one had been standing there, but I didn't see any wildlife, people, or falling debris. No clue what could have thrown it with such force. And yeah, no other information there. No knocks. That's a bummer. That sucks. Imagine getting a rock chucked. And I don't know. I could see maybe it's the young ones, because I know young human kids do stuff like that, right? Do stupid stuff like that sometimes, throwing rocks at cars or things. So I wonder if those could be maybe younger ones messing around, playing chicken, running across the road, throwing rocks, being little rascals. Never know. And so I did pull up several other reports for Lynn County there. Watch, we can have a quick look in a bit. Actually, let's get these other reports in while we have them. So you see there's a green one lit over here. And it looks like another green one here. And then I believe we read this orange one on the last stream. So more reports popping up for Ontario there. Let's head on over to, damn, what is it? Is it on the Minnesota side? It's right on the line there. St. Croix State Park. So is that in Minnesota or is that, let's see. All right. So we are on the Minnesota side of things here. And dropping the Squatch into St. Croix Park. And Hooking Good Creations by Tina. So we got 2 Tina C's in the house here, folks. And we're going to bless Tina C Hooking Good with, let's see, a shield there. And we got Big Silencer in the house. What up, brother? Good to see you. Not sure if you caught the speed chase, bro. We just had a speed chase go through Highland Park. And homeboy got hemmed up. It's very unfortunate. We don't know the situation, but hopefully, man, he gets on a good path there. And Juliana McGill in the house as well. Sandra Piper does. We got to give Sandra Piper a shield as well. There we go. I know Sandra. And let's see. Did the shield work for? No, it didn't. Here we go. Add. Boom. All right. We're shielding the whole chat up. And that gives you all the ability to share links. Yeah, don't be shy. Feel free to drop a link if you got a link to something, especially if it's pertaining to the subjects we're into. Drop a link. Don't be shy. Drop a post on my channel. I gotta really force you guys to do this. I'm like, why isn't anyone sharing any posts on my channel? And I like to remind people that you could do that. So there's certain channels, check your favorite content creator's channel, because you can share posts, pictures, links, like you could on your own channel, most of you. You could do it on others' channels. So feel free to drop a link, drop some pictures. If you got evidence of stuff, some UFOs, some Bigfoot pictures or whatever, some sort of evidence of something, or maybe just some recent news. All of you out there, I got some recent news last night. Someone sent me a little link pertaining to the missing scientists and unalive scientists. Yeah, you could. We're gonna add another one to the list, and it's from 2024. And it's just interesting how they're doing this. You know, it's like a big movie being played out as we're watching it, as I'm seeing it. And along with that, we're getting movies dropped on us also. I'm going to be checking out that Disclosure Day. All right, here we go. So this is 4/25. So this is yesterday. So if these reports are legit, that means today, right? Today's the 26th, right? Oh, 27th. So yesterday, there was a report. So someone seen a Bigfoot yesterday in Oregon. Or no, they got a rock thrown at them. So possibly a Bigfoot, right? Because what else throws rocks out there like that besides a crazy person, some kids? But I don't think the kids are going to be out in the middle of the woods like that. But let's check this report. Maybe they got a visual here, but possible Bigfoot activity happening within the last few days throughout the country. 4/25, 26, 9:03 p.m. An 8-footer they're describing here. And they're saying it did vocalize. So, and it says, I was on a Boy Scouts backpacking trip recently and some weird stuff happened. I was in my tent along with one of my buddies when I realized I forgot my fleece at a neighboring campsite. So it's like his fleece jacket or something. We had already heard noises such as yells and clicking/knocking before that. So I didn't want to go out, but I thought about the fleece and how cold I was. And I decided I had to go get it. I unzipped the tent while my friend stayed back. While I was running to the fleece, I saw something duck behind some trees and brush. I thought nothing of it. Really, after all those vocalizations, I would have been like, oh, there's a squatch there. But all right, because there was a huge amount of deer where I was staying. I grabbed the fleece and started heading back, feeling uneasy. From behind me, I heard loud footsteps behind me, not chasing me, but still scary. And you know what? Give me a second. There we go. There's our footsteps. I heard loud footsteps behind me, not chasing me, but still scary. I looked back to see this huge creature on two legs running towards some trees 30 feet from my tent. Whoa. When I made it back to the tent, I told my buddy about it. We heard noises the rest of the night. At one point, we even heard it rustling up to our tent. Yeah, we hear that a lot. Yeah, that they sometimes they even rub their hand up against the tent or even press like maybe pressing their face against the tent or something like that, or some sort of unwanted body part. Oh Lord, yeah, no. And just now anytime anyone has a tent situation, it'll take me back to my tent situation and that strange light and strange smell at Bluff Creek, Louse Camp. Unforgettable. Anyway, yeah, interesting report there. I don't know. I wonder. So black brown, they described this one, and about 8 feet. That's huge. And if they were on a Boy Scout trip, and look at that, you got some rivers going through there. It looks like down here, down in this area, it looks like some pretty big rivers. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I wonder if they were a Boy Scout themselves, or were they like chaperone or something like that for them to submit the report. Who knows? All right, we're gonna head a little more east, but across the border into Canada, as we've been I guess I don't know, there's been a series of reports out of Ontario, and I won't touch on it again because I've been mentioning why I felt like there was so many. And we'll just go ahead and check this one out here. So this is 7/27/74. Yeah, throwback. Put on your bell bottoms, folks, and yeah, let those chops grow. Let that fro grow. Let that soul glow. Yeah. And a 7-footer. Yeah, we're getting a lot of sevens on this one. 12:03 p.m. A male. So they must have noticed something. Oh. And it says, all right, at the time, I was 8 years old. I was playing alone in an apple orchard in Stony Creek, Ontario, on my way to a playground atop a hill and off the beaten path. I encountered a Sasquatch. Whoa. I was about 20 feet from it. The creature stood in front of a tall, bushy tree. It was tall and on the slender side. Interesting. Yeah, we hear that. You know, Bigfoot's not always like hulking and massive. Sometimes we hear about these thinner, taller ones, basketball player type. The arms were longer than a human's would be. They were somewhat thick. The legs were longer and somewhat thick. Those I managed to see at a glance. I mostly looked at its face. I could, though, see the creature breathing through its fur. Its hands were large and had short fur on the tops. The hands were leathery looking and brown. The creature's head was somewhat long and the top of its head pointed up. So describing like a conical shaped head, maybe. That's been coming into question lately. Do Bigfoots really have conical heads? Maybe some. The face was flat and the brow ridges stuck out some. The cheeks stuck out some also. The creature had a short neck. It was covered with fur except for its face and part of its forehead. It had no fur on the upper lip. There was fur around the jaw, chin, and covering the ears. And that's interesting. You don't. So I wonder if they were able to see the ears. A lot of times they're described. You can't see the ears. People think maybe they're too small. Maybe they're covered with hair. You don't get a lot of ear descriptions. At least I haven't heard. The creature had a chestnut colored face. Interesting how we mentioned the chestnut ridge being a hot spot. Chestnut colored face. Yeah, I could picture that. Good description on the color there too. The face was a smoothie, leathery texture. Its nose was somewhat flared, nostrils, but not pointy. The lips closed were thick. The creature had reddish brown fur that looked dull. The fur longer on the arms and would drape down. The fur on its head shorter, its eyes a dark amber. The creature had an intense stare. The stare meant business, and it didn't want me there. Uh-oh. The creature I knew wasn't human. I didn't know what it was. I had never known about Bigfoot before the experience. The creature had a strong odor also. Oof, here we go. The Bigfoot funk. It was a mix of swampy, musty, and wet leaves. That earthy. The creature didn't really move. It stared at me with its piercing eyes. The staring contest was about 60 seconds. I then became afraid. I turned to the right and bolted up the hill to the safety of the playground. I was terrified that creature would follow me. I was even whimpering. Anyways, the afternoon was cloudy, hot, and humid. It wasn't raining. The apple orchard was quite large. There also was a creek in the valley with deep water and various types of fish, etc. Like that. There also at the time were heavily forested areas. I used to play in the valley often, whether alone or with friends. After the encounter, I never returned to that area again. I had been in the valley, but far from that area. For the longest time, I made sure I wasn't alone. I only told the two people, or let's see, I only told at the time two people. One was a lady in the playground. She didn't believe me. She told me to go home. Jeez. So much for Karen. The other moms there heard me and they stared at me like I was delusional. I went home and I ran the whole way. At home, I told my mom and she didn't believe me. So after that, what's up with all these women? So after that, for decades, I kept my encounter to myself. It's only been recently that I told my best friend. She believed me. It was a relief. So I decided to muster up the courage to share my experience. Sorry, it's a long-winded report. I clearly remember the encounter and the creature. I know there are many skeptics out there, but I know what I had seen. I believe that since we're here, Sasquatch can be here. Sasquatch has always and still frightens me. Enough that for years I denied it in my head that I saw one. These past 4 weeks, the encounter kept surfacing. I realized I had to tell of my experience. The Sasquatch never hurt me or growled, etc. Its stare was enough to make me run. Also, I had never seen a half ape, half human before. The odor it had, I'll never forget neither. It assaulted my nose even from 20 feet away. This is my experience, and anyone who reads about it, I wish to thank. Oh, man. Thank you. That was a good one. Reddish brown on the color there. And wow. Too bad. Oh, man. Too bad none of those ladies believed him. That sucks. Anyway, interesting report there out of Ontario. Once again, wow, so many reports have been popping up. And let's see if the other squatches pop up. As you can see, look at all these red Bigfoots. These are all these recent reports that we've been reading. Some of them might have already been there from previous submissions, but yeah, a lot of these we have read recently. So check that out if you're in the Ontario area, or if you're just interested in Bigfoot, period. So we are heading a little further east, and it's looking like, where are we going, folks? So it's looking like, is it New Jersey? I don't know. I think so. Could be New Jersey. I'm trying to see the borderlines of the state here. I see New York over on this side. And let's just drop the squatch maybe by some nearby towns or something. Some of you may be able to tell what state we are in. Rockaway, baby. So I see a White Meadow Lakes above this report, quite a bit above, but and then the 80 freeway. Yeah, I think I drove that all cross country, right? That goes all across the country. Is it the 80? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Oh man, that was a wild. I shared that story. Look, he's in the middle of town. He's on Main Street. Uh-oh. So heads up. Let's check this out. He's right in the middle of Jackson and Main Street. Wow. So what town is this? Rockaway. Be interesting to see if there's any other reports in the town of Rockaway. So it says here 9/15/25. And I'm gonna jump in the chat here in a minute. I've just been trying to focus on the reading here. Stumbled a little bit. What up, Muschetti? Good to see you, brother. And one love to you as well. We're hanging out earlier this morning. So no vocalization. Whoops. Let's see here. 8-footer, 9/15/25, 9:30 a.m. Bigfoot was maybe headed to get some coffee in town or something. Who knows? Some waffles. I was hiking with my Cub Scout. Here we go. Another Boy Scout, Cub Scout report. I was hiking with my Cub Scout pack on a mountain around 12 p.m. Oh, maybe it's not. When me and my friend looked off the mountain and we thought we saw a human-shaped tree. It was almost like a human owl, which is very interesting. The owl has been coming up a whole lot. You know, I seen a really good STM documentary not too long ago where this couple, and I forget what state they were out in the East Coast, but this totally legit couple. I mean, to me, I just didn't get any vibes that they were lying or making anything up. And I usually don't from those documentaries. And they were describing they had, I believe it was a road crossing Bigfoot, but right at the same time, I think it was on the opposite side of the road or maybe same side. I forget how the report goes, but they spotted a giant owl standing on the side of the road while they were having their Bigfoot sighting. Blew my mind. I was like, whoa. And we hear about the, owl being used as like a screen memory with alien encounters or sightings or abduction. Also in the Bigfoot field, the mimicking of owl sounds, right? That people call the 800-pound owl or like a terrible barred owl call. You know, they'll sound like a barred owl, but then the last call might be like kind of off, like a Come on, Juliana, give us your barred owl call. I know you could do. I know you could mimic some animals. But no, I could do. I could do barred owl. Let's see. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. It's been a while, but I used to do it. You know, when I was up on the hill, yeah, I'd hear them all the time. And one time I had a weird experience with owls. It was like I was surrounded by a bunch of barred owls, but then there was one that really sounded off. And I was like, I don't know if it was like a male surrounded by a bunch of females or maybe the opposite, but it made me think like, hold up, maybe these aren't owls. And that was up on the hill. I don't know if I recorded that night, but yeah, that does make me think about people and their Bigfoot owl experiences. Or Bigfoot's, you know, these owl sounds and possibly it being Bigfoot. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So, human shape that looked like an owl. We then walked past a thin pole on the hiking trail. And I wonder why they're talking about hiking and this report's like that it's dotted in town. Maybe they misplaced the report or something like that. Who knows? We looked away for a second, looked back at it, and it was gone. We stepped back behind the pole to see if it was a trick of the light. It was definitely gone. I don't know for certain if it was a Bigfoot. I was way too far away to be sure. My friend also thought it was a Bigfoot or thought it was Bigfoot. He saw it too. So silhouette, black silhouette. Yeah, we hear that a lot. And who knows? Interesting report, regardless of it not being confirmed. But yay, I think, you know, if the boys thought it was a Bigfoot, it probably was. Posing like a owl stump squatch. All right, what's the chat saying? Let's see, legit conspiracies, says Juliana. Let me jump into. All right, Muschetti sharing a link there. Here we go. Another link. Here we go. Here is my first Morel video. Yes. Muschetti is scoring Morels. And I love, oh my goodness, I love eating Morels and picking them. It's so much fun, man. And yes, I've shared some clips, little video clips with me and the ladies out picking Morels in our spot out in Oregon. And Bigfoot Dwarf, you go do Sandra Piper, you rock as well. It's funny, Sandra Piper will salute me sometimes. We salute each other. So if you see me out there, you see me salute Sandra Piper, and you're probably thinking like, why is he saluting Sandra like that? Because she salutes me as well. So salute to Sandra Piper. And yeah, I'll be checking that video out, Muschetti, and good pickings to you, man. Remember to always leave a few for the Sasquatch. And it says, I got your back. All right. If Juliana has your back, man, you got some angels watching your back. And hopefully Juliana has my back. I want her to have my back. You know, I got your back, Juliana. Anything you need, anything I can do within my power, I will do. Mushroom hunters are also a subgroup of the missing 411. Always go prepared. Yeah. Yes, we've brought that up. We've brought up missing mushroom hunters in our mushroom picking spot in Oregon. Yeah, happened last year. We've brought those cases up. And so keep an eye out for those folks. And it does happen. It's so weird, right? It's like something's going on there. We've talked about fairy rings, you know, mushroom rings, half fairy rings as well. And they say, you know, be careful around those fairy rings. Pregnant women shouldn't fall asleep inside of fairy rings. Maybe leave an offering at the fairy ring. But yeah, we've ran into those things before, and they say, yeah, it's something to do with the Fae. And then the berries as well, just like with the berries. And, some people will argue it, but I think there's something to it. Yeah, I think there's something to that. It's weird. And I just think there's something very magical about mushrooms. And not only referring to like magic mushrooms, of course, psilocybin and all that, but I think all mushrooms, yeah, the poisonous ones, the edible ones, they're just I find them fascinating. And, I try to be a fun guy. Yeah. Yep, berry patches too. What is it, Juliana? And Juliana, I bet you got berry. You could probably go to the backyard pick berries, huh? Those big old Himalayan. We used to get them all over I used to just be able to walk out the door and pick berries and mm. Ever try the Logan berries? One of my favorites there too. Let's see. All right. Who else is up in the chat? It's only like 3 of us. Sorry to bore you all. We're going to switch gears here. So yesterday I did my disclaimer for this next website. So hopefully I don't receive any backlash. We're doing this for the information, folks, just to see if we could pick up any information, with these online Bigfoot reports. Maybe, doing this will help me step up game and getting more information. Maybe we'll start getting a little traction and maybe getting reports from people and maybe having more guests come on. Yeah, I should have tried setting something up for today, but man, it was just a wild weekend, busy weekend, and our lives are random. We do it random. There's no set schedule, and we're just rolling like that for now, and we're having fun with it. So let's see here. Sorry, I should have pulled up the site. So here we go. Let's go to the front and refresh this. So since yesterday we read, I think was it? Oh, it was no reports. And I think soon after yesterday's live stream, I rechecked the site and I noticed one report came in. And then a little while later, boom, boom, 2 more came in. So since yesterday, there's been 3 reports added to the site here. And the last one being that one plant report we heard about, that big company, that company. They named the company at first, and we talked about how, yeah, there's possibly maybe footage if that really happened. If the plant's cameras are as high tech as we believe they are, they might have some footage of this actual report down here from West Virginia. And y'all got to hear the raw report before it got edited and everything. This report did get edited due to some information. And yeah, I was surprised they had put that information out, but whatever. It has been I guess fixed now. So December 2025, Texas, Smith County, and all these are Class B reports. So this is Bigfoot howls heard west of Hideaway Lake and 9 miles south of Sabine River. So all right, let's check this one out. We'll start at the bottom here. And this is report 79559, Class B, submitted by witness Byron Walker on Saturday, December 13th, 2025. So Bigfoot howls heard west of Hideaway Lake, 9 miles south of Sabine River, 2025. Fall was the season, the month of December. On the 12th, Texas was the state, Smith County. The GPS coordinates is there. And nearest town is Lindale. County Road 434 observed 2 nights ago between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. I heard the howling exactly like the howling links provided in your website homepage, which is, if I'm going to guess, the Ohio howl. I have over 100 acres. Awesome. in my backyard of forest, not all my land, but it is uninhabitable or uninhabited. Jeez. Let me zoom. Can I zoom? All right, here I just made this a little bigger. Now I could read it better. I live close to Hideaway Lake and not far or not too far from this sighting on 11/18/25. I was never a believer until 2 nights ago. Nothing else around here sounds like that. It made my hair on my body stand up. From the distance of the howls, I believe were 2 of them, one closer to my location and another a couple hundred yards from me. When I went to the tree line and shone my flashlight into the thicket, the one closest stopped howling, but the one furthest away keep going. And then something tapped a high tensile wire or line 2 times. Metallic sounding tap. There are wire fences and an abandoned chicken coop about 50 yards from where I was standing, which no one or nothing else could have done at 4 a.m. where I live. It knew I was there. I was outside from 4 a.m. till almost 6 a.m. As the sky started to lighten from sunrise, the sound stopped. A morning I'll never forget. So then on 12/15/25, so let's see, what was this date? The 12th. Okay, so this is 12/15, so about 3 days later on 12/15/2025, the following info was added to this report. I submitted a report of howling a couple days ago close to the Garden Valley sighting. I originally did not think I had other witnesses, but my 2 neighbors corroborated my story when speaking with them directly. They heard it as well. The GPS coordinates are still accurate. We've walked some of their property looking for footprints or other clues. But the triple howl on your audio page is exactly what we heard. As a side note, 2 nights later, I walked outside thinking I'd try to knock on wood to see if I could get a reply. And within 30 seconds of walking out of my back door, a very large tree could be heard falling in a wooded area near both of our property. There was no wind, and I could hear the wood splintering and disturbing other trees around it when it fell with a very large thump. It may be unrelated, but I'm inclined to think not. The coincidence was too unreal. Also noticed it was just the duration and the possibility that there were 2, one closer to me and one about 200 to 400 yards away. Other witnesses, 2 neighbors, other stories. This is a very the Garden Valley reported here on 11/18. So, all right, Garden Valley report on 11/18. So that was, I guess, several days after all this happened, right? 11/18, or is this 12? Let's see. Oh yeah, no, about a month before. And time and conditions, 2 a.m. through 5 a.m. Environment, pine forest, heavily wooded terrain with a few ponds, uninhabited, but for a few homes surrounding the forest area. So there you go there. No follow-up. Doesn't seem like, I guess that's our follow-up there. And no maps or anything on that. But interesting report for sure. And let's check out this next report from October 2023, also from Texas. But we're hopping on over to Harrison County, which is also a Class B, and possible Sasquatch sounds heard at cabin near Cato Lake. What? All right. Okay, this is interesting because hold on, was it? No, I think that was Cattle Lake. All right, I got excited there. I think because Alex Pedikov, his recent documentary over on STM, he was in Texas, and I believe it was Cattle Lake, also a well-known spot, Eastern Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought I thought this Cato Lake might have been it for a second, but no, I think it's two separate locations. But you got some interesting audio out there. I do recommend checking that out. I did share it in the posts as well. And let's check out this report here. Ooh. We're going to be doing quite a bit of reading, folks. So get your snacks. We're going to get through this. Let's see. Hopefully the chat didn't fall asleep. Geez, got to clear my throat there. Where's my drink? I left my coconut water over there. And I'm not going to reach for it. All right, report number 76489, another Class B submitted by witness Triva Boyd on Monday, October 9th, 2023. Possible Sasquatch sounds heard at cabin near Cato Lake. Let's see, 2023, fall, October 5th to 8th, Texas, Harrison County, location, Biles D. Arc Lane, corner lot, and Uncertain, Texas. So I don't know. There's some GPS coordinates there as well. Nearest town, Uncertain. Is that a real place? Uncertain, Texas. Uncertain, Texas. How do you say it? I was reluctant to even submit this. My husband is a firm believer in Bigfoot, but I have always been a skeptic. We recently married our youngest daughter off and planned a long weekend trip to a cabin in Uncertain, Texas, close to Cato Lake to recover. Nice. We arrived on Thursday. The cabin is one of two set on a corner lot with a large area. Let me zoom this. Let me make this a little bigger. Makes it easier to read. So the cabin is one of two set on a corner lot with a large area of forest set behind it. And though it was not lakefront, the lake was not far. It was a small cabin with a screened in porch in back facing the forest. So let's run that again. Let's see the cabin with a screened in porch. Yes. In back facing the forest. Got it. The forest extended back a ways. My husband walked out there a bit, but turned around when he encountered brush too thick to go through. On this day, the other cabin was unoccupied. It was about 3 p.m. when we arrived. After brought in everything in, we left out again around 5 p.m. to go to the nearby town of Jefferson to get groceries. We returned to the cabin around 6:30 to 7. I decided to sit out in the screened in porch as the sun was setting. I could hear a multitude of birds singing. I was enjoying the peaceful environment when I heard what I first thought was an owl hooting. There we go again. Owls in the notes today. But it struck me strange because it almost sounded like a human making an owl sound. Hello. Is it an owl? If that makes sense. And the birds stopped singing when the sound was made. I didn't think much of the sound at first, and it continued to, let's see. And it continued to sit and look at my phone, which had poor cell reception in this particular area. Then I heard something strike the side of the cabin. Uh-oh. below the screened in area, and near me, like a rock had been thrown at the cabin. Here we go with some rock throwing again. I looked up, but didn't see anything. A feeling of unease settled over me, and I started feeling really uncomfortable. So I went back inside and locked the door. I thought maybe something had fallen from the tree, but it hit the side of the cabin where I was and not the roof. The weather was still and there wasn't any wind blowing. I chalked it up to hearing my husband tell too many tales and figured I was imagining things. On Friday, we spent most of the day from the cabin except to fix lunch and head out again. We returned again late afternoon to settle in and make dinner. A couple that had rented the other cabin had arrived and were settling in. After dinner, we turned on the TV, and I was sitting in a glider chair that was located near the back wall of the cabin where the screened in porch is located. I don't remember the time, but I know it was dark outside when I heard what sounded like another rock hitting the backside of the cabin. Like yesterday, the weather was mild with no wind. The exact same thing happened again on Saturday night after dark. Only this time it happened 2 to 3 times. I had not been back out on the screened in porch since the first night because that experience had really weirded me out. Sunday morning comes and we were getting ready to leave around 8 a.m. The other cabin occupants were also loading up to leave. My husband was carrying trash to the trash bin located in the front of the cabin when he heard a sound like something rustling around loudly behind the cabin. He looked up thinking it was one of the other cabin's occupants back there, but then he saw those people carrying stuff to their vehicle, so that was ruled out. He walked behind the cabin to see if he could see anything, but nothing was there. As he turned around to come back, he heard what sounded like someone striking a baseball bat on a tree coming directly, and we boom. Coming directly from the woods behind the cabin. He looked again but saw nothing. He started telling me about this on our way home, and I disclosed what I had heard. Come on, y'all didn't talk about it when it happened. This could have gotten a lot more interesting. He asked why I hadn't said anything sooner. Yeah. And I replied, I didn't think it was significant at the time. That's when he told me about other encounters, such as mine, that he had heard about from others, including mimicking sounds and rock throwing. I'm not sure if it was really a Bigfoot encounter, but thought I might put out our experience out there. Thank you. And it says, also noticed, not that I recall, nothing there. Let's see, other witnesses sitting out in the screened in porch and sitting near back wall inside the cabin. Husband heard noises in the front of the cabin. And this is their first time there. Times and conditions, sunset around 10 p.m., near to dark, minimal lights in front of cabin. None in back. Weather was calm, no wind. Pine forest area located directly behind the cabin. So, yeah, there we go. Texas, another one for Texas there. And Cato Lake. Very interesting. What's the chat saying? Amanda, you're still here. Yeah, we got one more here. Let's get through it. So one more. Another Class B. So this time we're headed to Florida. And it says report number 69016 submitted by witness Ed Koshmider on Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. Possible daylight sighting by motorcyclists 35 miles northeast of Naples. So 2021 is the year, spring is the season, April is the month. On the 11th, the state of Florida, Collier County, and there's some coordinates and roads there. Nearest town is Naples, Highway 29, and they observed. I was riding my motorcycle north of County Line Road when up ahead of me, approximately 100 yards, I saw something quickly walking from east to west across the road. Before it moved, I thought it was a person standing there. Yeah. Then I thought it might be a deer, as the color of the legs and body were a uniform color brown. And the speed at which it moved, then I noticed that it was not bounding across like a deer would have to move that fast. What I saw was a smooth bipedal walk with a long gait that crossed the road in 3 or 4 steps. And don't we hear that a whole lot? When I reached the area where the figure had crossed, there was a skunky body odor smell. There goes that squatch funk again. Not a skunk, though. It wasn't that heavy of a smell. In parentheses there. For several yards, I passed through that area. That is what made me think that it could have been the skunk ape. But I'm sure Florida probably has a lot of plants, different plant life that maybe gives off certain smells. Like out here, we got the skunk cabbage and that other skunk cabbage. I did not go back to the area yet to look for any sign because I did not really put it together until I was well past the area. And again, what's the date on this? Several years back. All right, 21. So other witnesses, just him riding his motorcycle down the road around 10 a.m. An environment on the east side of the road is a canal with farmland and the Everglades behind it. Oof. And on the west side is forest and farmland. Interesting. So there it is. Wow. Quite a bit of reading there. Boom. Oh, where am I? There I am. What's Muschetti saying? Let's see. I was close. I just picked it up later or ain't learned how to cheat at it yet. I don't know. What are they talking about there? Not sure what the conversation's about. Let's see. SoCal Squatchers saying they say 10,000 hours at anything and you're a master. Oh, man. Except for Bigfoot. A lot of us have put in more than 10,000 hours. And there is no master of the game yet. Bigfoot remains the master of the game, the master of the Squatch game. Skunk cabbage. Yeah, I walked amongst the skunk cabbage. Yeah, I think I'm ready to have a little skunk cabbage myself. All right. Well, let's see. All right. Hour and a half, folks. We got a speed chase in. Let me double check. We don't get a round 2 of speed chases. Coley is live. All right, we're gonna go watch Coley, y'all. That's where everyone went. My bad. See how people do. You go live, but if you're rocking on someone else's hour, they'll dip out on you. Like peace. We're out this mug. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah. Much love to you all. And that's your your Monday Bigfoot report. We'll keep an eye out for anything else happening out there. And be safe, folks. Wild times. Wild times. Interesting stream too. I know there's a lot more. Did someone share Coley's link? Maybe someone could share the link there. And I'm gonna hop on over there right now. Actually, I'm jumping on my phone. There we go. And again, thank you for hanging out. Here goes our outro.